this. It felt a little bit like some spiritual parents who were writing to me. I mean, I could be, you could be my parents age-wise. And so it really felt like I was gleaning the wisdom of your generation, your expansive experience of working for the kingdom. But, and that's my follow-up question, I guess, maybe not necessarily in what people would call a Christian way or explicitly Christian. And so you have an entire essay, Charlie, on what it means to be a Christian artist, quote unquote, and how you actually don't like that term. Do you want to tell us how, as Christians, we can be these agents of love and fruitfulness and goodness in the world without necessarily having that label stamped on our foreheads?
Yeah, I think I would like, every one of my brothers and sisters that professes to follow Christ to just ask the question and ponder for a moment, what would it be like if you lived in a world where you couldn't declare that you were a Christian? How would that change the way that you acted and spoke? Because there are people in the world who do live under those circumstances, and yet they are completely authentically Christian. And so, what I found out through being involved in contemporary Christian music was that the power, the last 40 years has built this uh, sociological need for niche branding. And so, everything is an opportunity to brand, right? Uh, and to create a mission statement for, and so on and so forth. And when it comes to being God's musical artist, it's just too big um, to belong to a brand alone. It's not to say that you can't participate in a community, that has a name or that calls themselves Christians, in as much as we do when we go to our Sunday fellowship with other Christians. Of course, it's all contextual. So when I argue for myself not using the words Christian musician, it's because I don't want to be branded according to this brand and genre of music called Christian music. It's not that I don't sometimes participate in it. I do, but I participate in all kinds of music. And so anything that might restrict me from being faithful, and I think that's the principle at stake for everyone, regardless of whether they're an artist or a musician, is that if there's anything about Christian naming that restricts you from faithfulness, you should do your best to avoid it.
Amen. Especially in a culture where that very word Christian has the meaning is just so different, or it means, I mean, obviously epistemologically, like it just means so many different things than what we think, how we're expressing it. So use words that cannot trigger darts your way if you can help it.
That's right. And trigger assumptions that you don't embrace.
Exactly.
Like, for example, we could have a conversation where, because of your understanding and your empathy and your curiosity, I might say to you, well, of course I'm a Christian musician, based on what you've told me, based on what your understanding is, right? And that's a one-on-one relationship because we've built that safety, right? And my desire is to be accurately known. Your desire is to be accurately known. And so we accurately know each other. And now we have a bridge of safety, and we can use these words and they mean something. But you get out on the street, it's a completely different circumstance.